Welcome everyone. My name is Nicole, and today we have a little bit different of a class. It's our heart space flow for inviting love and peaceful feelings. So we're going to be focusing on a lot of heart openers, and what that means is opening across the chest. And so they tend to be, when you hear heart openers, that tends to be back bends or opening the side, just so we can really open, which is really arching and expanding through the back of the heart. So, and that is that counteracts all of the this that we do all the time, sitting and looking at screens, and as well as it's our heart space. So when we've been hurt, or perhaps you know someone and they're rounded like this as well, for more emotional reasons. So it's a one way to kind of like crack that open, doing some of these movements, and having a yoga practice in general, because I don't think I've been in any one yoga practice where opening the heart and kind of this reverse action wasn't utilized. So we're going to be doing a lot of that, as well as trying to bring in, right, so this is Pima, and I love her very much, or maybe have kids, or just take a moment now and think of someone or something that you really love, and place your attention in your heart space and really bring them to mind. How much you love them and care for them. Now breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Try to keep holding on to that feeling of love or gratitude. If this is hard to grasp onto right now, let's make a gratitude list in your mind. Try to think of 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now. So hopefully you can see, if you bring some attention to your heart area with some thoughts that bring love and joy, that you can almost feel an energy there. And so that's what I'd like today for us to connect to, is that loving energy in our heart space as we practice these poses. So kind of let go of the alignment so much. Not going to be overly complicated poses. We're gonna, it's all right, just thank you. We're just gonna try to more concentrate on seeing if we can connect to those loving feelings at the same time as we're actually opening and broadening our chest and opening through the back body. Just an interesting practice on sensations, and maybe if we're not feeling quite in a loving space right now, that we can connect a little bit more. So yes, and we're gonna begin laying down, but we're also going to use a bolster or maybe a couple pillows for a sort of restorative type pose. And then I also have the blocks out just in case, so I'll try to offer variations of things as we go along, so it should be accessible to everybody. So let's start by laying down onto our backs. And you can lay on all the way out or have knees knocked in, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But we're starting in Shavasana, corpse pose. And as we're here, just take a little bit, feel where your body is touching the earth. And take a deep breath into your belly so that it expands. Maybe bring your hand to your belly and the other hand to your heart. And as you breathe in, belly expands into your hands and your heart. And as you exhale, sinking and feeling very relaxed. Let's take several rounds of breath deeply. If you'd like to connect now to your Ujjayi breath, that's the ocean-like breath that you hear sometimes from yogis, and it's a constriction at the back of the throat on an inhale. And on an exhale. And the little vibrations that causes in your throat helps soothe your vagus nerve, calm your nervous system, as well as maintaining it will help you, give you something to come back to during your practice. And as well as it has a little bit of a heating effect. So breathing in and out. Bring the intention to your head and your forehead, cheeks and jaw, and relax your face. And relax your shoulders, neck. Feel your pelvis and legs melt into the floor. Now, gently roll to the side and use your hands to push yourself back up to a seat. And now here, if you have a bolster, we're going to use that, or if you have a couple pillows, that should work all right too. Or you could just stay laying in Shavasana as well. But I'm bringing this up to my bum, and I'm going to lean back on it and open my legs and come into a supported reclining bound angle. So, and you may need to adjust the pillow up or down a little bit. Find a little place where it's comfortable for you. Palms roll out. You may want blocks under the knees to feel a little more supported. We're just going to be here a little while breathing. And same thing, breathe deeply, expanding your belly. And exhale. And as we're relaxing and breathing and opening here, See if you can bring that loving heart space energy. See if you can call it up again and feel that warm energy in your heart. Focus your attention here now. Maybe imagine a little flame. Or maybe just imagine love of your family or something dear to you. How does that feel? Sometimes we can feel vulnerable too. Just know that anything that comes up for you is okay. It can't always be rainbows. Just breathe through whatever experience is arising for you and try to come back to that loving feeling in your heart. And then when you're ready, you can prepare to come on out. Roll off to the side again and push yourself back up to seated. And now we're gonna meet in all, scratch that. We're gonna do a little forward fold. So take your pillows or the bolster and then bring your feet out in front of you. And so this is an opposite. We were just going backward, so this is the opposite. See, now take notice as you relax forward so that it's relaxing and you don't feel strained. How you feel now. Does this feel safer? Does it just feel nice, the counterbalance of now going forward after going backwards? Can you keep in mind all the things you're still grateful for and come back to the flame? Deep breathing. Okay, now come on up now and remove the bolster. And now we'll meet on all fours. Okay, so on all fours here, just take a moment. Make sure your fingers are spreading bright and they're active and firmly pressing down. Knees are under the hips, toes curled under. And then exhale, point the tailbone to the sky, and then as well as the collarbones. Press the hands down firmly and pull your heart open even more. And we're going to pause here in cow. Take a few rounds of breath. And really focus on your heart here. Your flame, bright, all the things you're grateful for, all the love just shining out through your heart. And now, arch, opposite, cat, pressing down, we're puffing the back of the heart now, rounding, breathing. Where's the heart now? Does it feel harder to access curled in like this? Or no? We're all going to have different experiences. All right, then come back to neutral, and now just go ahead and move back and forth with your own breath at a pace that feels good to you. So be faster or slower, just breathe with the movements. And then come back and go ahead and grab your bolster again. And this time, or pillows, this time we're going to use it for a little supported child's pose. So toes touch, bring it on in, lower down, rest your forehead, and then breathe deeply into your belly to feel it expand into the cushion. And drawing your breath up your tailbone, up the spine, through the back of the heart, and pause. Bring your loving thoughts back to your brain. Let that cause the sensation in your heart and the visualization of a flame there. And come on up, move the bolster, and come back onto all fours. And from here, we are going to curl the toes under, tilt into cow, Lift the knees, press up into downward dog. Make sure your hands are bright and active, and you are getting as much length as you can through the side body. Maybe shift side to side, pedal out the legs, then drop the head, and lastly, work towards straight legs, but not necessary. But from here, we're gonna breathe an exaggerated breath into the back of the heart, poofing it out. And exhale, opening, coming through. Little cat-cow and downward dog. Release with upper body. And come back to neutral. And we are going to step our left foot through to a lunge. And we're gonna do a little cat-cow and lunge. Squeeze the legs together on the inhale, as well as arch through the back of the heart. And then exhale, push the feet away from one another, lift up through the collarbones, lift the chin. And then round. And exhale, push away. Squeeze legs together, inhale, round. And then exhale, pushing the legs away, lifting the heart. And then we're gonna shift our feet to center. Point the toes out. Hands to hips, a little bend in the knees. Come all the way up. You can't see my upper body here, but we're gonna star. Just spread your hands, feet, arms. Your whole body is a star. Stretch out. And then pivot the feet. So we're gonna come in to lunge at the back of the mat with the right leg in front. And inhale, squeeze the feet together, causing a lift through the pelvis, and carry that into the back of the heart. Drop the head. And exhale, push the feet away from one another. Split them and lift up through the collarbones, head. And use some rounds like that with your breath. Now shift the toes back to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway look up. Arch, little tilt in the pelvis, and then exhale, fold. And then inhale, lift through the back of the heart, look up, chin lifts, and then exhale, fold again. A little wave here. Inhaling and exhaling. You can always have blocks here as well. Last round, inhale and exhale. And then we're gonna shift back to the front of the mat. Come into plank. Take a moment here, pulling up through the navel. A little poof in the back of the heart, really extending out through the hands. Oh, out or up. Pressing down firmly. And you can always lower your knees if you need to. And then make sure the shoulders are lifting, elbows hugging in, lower all the way down. Okay, so we're in Sphinx. The elbows are going to be under the shoulders here. Really press down to lift up through your chest. And then think about opening, maybe a little bit more, broadening a little bit more across your collarbones. Like chin level. And just take some deep breaths here. Come back to your gratitude list or your loving thoughts, the flame. Maybe if you'd like to do a little thigh stretch here, you can bring one arm across and reach back. Can't reach, you can always grab a belt and lasso your foot. And then go ahead and switch. And release that, and we're going to come all the way down for a moment. Take a breath in. Maybe shift your hips from side to side if it feels good. And then bring your hands just about where your shoulders are, and then lift them, and then we are going to breathe up and down. And so what I mean is we're going to inhale without our arms, rolling our shoulders back, inhaling and exhaling. And then bring your forehead to touch, and then inhaling and exhaling. Just a few more times. Last time. Inhale. And then exhale. Come all the way down. Rest your forehead. Breathe deeply into your belly, feeling it expand into the floor. And then bring your hands back under. Come on up. And we're going to push back into child's pose. You're more than welcome to do supported and bring the bolster. Otherwise, just rest down again. Pressing your hands, pressing your hips back towards your heels. Okay, come back onto all fours, back into plank. Take a breath in, and then on the exhale, go ahead and bend the knees and start to draw. Press back into downward dog. Inhaling, exaggerating your breath into the back of the heart again. And then exhale, extending, dropping the heart through. Then lift that left leg high to the sky. And exhale, bring it through. We're going to low lunge now. So if you'd like to lower the knee, feel free. And then lift, broaden through your chest, lift your heart. And exhale, press through the front heel and back into half splits. Dropping the head and coming into a forward fold. And we're going to shift between the two. And when we come forward, really think about opening your heart and calling in that loving energy. And then exhale, pressing back and rounding. And moving through these opposing and then we're going to lift the back knee again. We're going to shift through center. And this time we're going to pull the heels in and then lift into goddess pose here. So inhale, squeeze those legs together, causing this lift through the pelvis on the inhale. And then exhale, push the legs away, opening them. Inhale, lift. Exhale, expand. Last round, inhale, lift. Exhale, expand. And then go ahead and turn over now. Low lunge, right leg in front at the back of your mat. Go ahead and drop the knee. Lift your heart bright. Broaden your collarbones. Breathe into your heart space. And then go ahead and press that front heel into your heel. Press your hips back into half splits and drop the head. Inhale forward, lifting. Exhale back. Last round. And come back into lunge. Pivot the toes to the long edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. If you'd like to bind behind the back. Breathing deeply. And drop the hands. Inhale, halfway look up. Pivot. Come back to the front of your mat. And lunge into plank. Take a breath here. and then lower all the way down. Okay, so we're gonna have locust here, and these are these strong back bends that take a lot of work, but they're great, and they're great for strength. So you can either have palms face up, shoulders roll up, and we're gonna lift, and then we're gonna try our hardest to breathe and think about those warming thoughts in our heart. Or you can clasp, and then on the inhale, lift the feet as much as you can, and pull your chest, open your chest, breathe in. What is it that you love? What is it that brings you that joy? A little bit higher, and then lower all the way down. Beautiful. Take a moment here, breathe deeply into your belly. Maybe sigh it out. One more deep breath in. And sigh it out. We're gonna push back into child's pose once more for just a moment. Do you need a strap? Or if you'd like to grab a strap, we're going to be moving into a shoulder opener next. Take a moment to relax. Take a moment to reimagine the burning flame in your heart. And then come on up. So, let's see here. This should work. We're gonna come up so that we're getting a nice little foot stretch here. Toes curled under, sitting back on the heels. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Press the palms together, and then I'm picking my right side, right elbow, and I'm gonna move it over to the back of my head more, and then drop my hand to the middle of my back, or maybe if I need a strap right here, I'm holding the strap and then reaching around with my other hand to work my hands together. And then press your head into your arms. Don't arch forward, but keep your ribs tucked in. Long spine. Just keep breathing, relax your jaw. And then go ahead and release. And then arms up overhead once more, very slowly. And then press those palms together. Help work out those kinks. And we're gonna switch sides. So my left elbow here, and I'm gonna draw it over more to the back of my head, and then drop my hand and kind of push, kind of help a little bit. Nothing crazy. I'm not jerking or anything. And then this is my tighter side. In theory, have the strap first. Kind of setting a bad example here. And then, just work your hands to a place that feels comfortable, where you can breathe, where you can keep your ribs tucked in. Lift your chin. few more breaths here. And then release. Inhale, arms up, overhead, slowly. Press the palms together. And then lower. Beautiful. Okay, so next we're gonna work on our camel. But come down for a minute. Okay, for camel. Let's go ahead and come back up on the knees, toes curled under, and then come to standing on the knees. And then, so we've been kind of going over this a little bit here. The goal isn't so much as leaning back and grabbing for the heels, as much as it is a heart open, right? Because there's nothing heart opening about this. This is just sort of like more of an ab workout. So this isn't, not necessarily it. What we really want is this broad opening across the chest and really getting as open here. And then, you know, and then you can kind of lean back and grab for your heels, and then pressing down through your hands, continue to lift, press forward with them to lift your heart up and open, and then maybe look up, breathing. And then come on out, sit back down. We're gonna try it again, and just so, and then we'll do those cactus arms this next time and see if you can feel any difference, or if you like that variation, or if you're like, I'll just do it my own way, that's cool too. So coming back up, let's go ahead and cactus our arms. Let's go ahead and keep our toes curled under. Tuck your chin. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, start to press your chest forward, and at the same time, start to draw your elbows in towards your sides. And then inhale, lift the chest, and then drawing the elbows down toward your side once more. Lift the chest. So now we're really open here. So now if you'd like, go ahead and lean back and grab for your heels and press down. Lift that heart, no throwing the neck, strong neck. And then an exhale, come on out. Hands in your lap, and just take a few rounds of breath here, calling back that energy into the heart space. The love of whatever calls to you. The flame. And then come on out, go ahead and shift, and we're gonna do a little bit of hip openers now. So we're gonna do logs of fire. Let's bring one foot on, this is my left foot. However, we're gonna do both sides. And then it's a little bit away from me, it's not right in, a little bit out. And then you're gonna bring the other guy right on top. So these are your logs here. You want your feet active, very intense hip, you know. So if you're like, oh, that's normal, that's okay. You can just sit up and that's fine. Press your hands into your feet and your feet into your hands. Lift your chin. Take a deep breath in and out. Breathe into the sensations that you're feeling. And then as you're ready, or maybe not at all, however you're feeling, come forward. And inhale back up, lean back, come out. I'm gonna switch sides. Now my right leg is on bottom, and I'm gonna draw my left leg on top. My little legs are the logs here. The fire is in the hips. And there's a triangle when I look down. It's sort of a reference. Feet are active, really engaged. You can press them into your hands, lift your chest, breathe in. If you like to fold forward, go ahead and fold forward. And then inhale, come back up, and we're going to do a little cobbler's pose here. So press the soles of your feet together, put hands behind, lift up, maybe bring your pelvis closer to your feet, heart open, and then hands come around, open the feet like a book. And then inhale, lift and fold forward if you'd like. Miss Willow. And then come back up. I'm gonna spread legs out wide, legs in front of us. Press down through the heels to draw. Activate your hamstrings right here. So they're pressing down and pulling back into myself. And then just relaxing just slightly. And then inhale, grow in your spine. And exhale, come forward. And then inhale, come back on up, hands under the knees, lean back to come out. And then we're gonna go ahead and roll onto our backs. And from here, we're gonna do 3 back bends, a bridge or 3 bridges, or a bridge and 2 wheels, or anything, any of those variations, right? So whatever you feel comfortable with. So we're gonna start with bridge though, rolling our shoulders onto our backs. We're either gonna grip the outside edges of our mat, like we're tearing it apart to continue to encourage the shoulder blades to roll under our more, or we're gonna press down through the feet to lift the hips up and keep rolling the shoulders under. Clasp under the hips, head firmly planting into the earth, chin lifting. And now lift the toes and lift even higher. Breathe, pressing down through the hands. How does your heart space feel here? And then exhale, lower on down. Nice and easy. You have your knees knocked in. Take a breath. And now we're going to either do 2 wheels, or you can just repeat what we just did here, or you can just rest like this. But if you like to take the full wheel, or try hands reverse, so the fingertips are pointing towards your shoulders. Take a moment, take a breath in, allow some relaxation. And then on the inhale or your next inhale, think about when you lift up, just a straight lift up with your heart going straight towards the ceiling. So inhale. Breathe in, down, press through your feet and your hands and your feet. Press through forward. And then exhale, lower down, nice and slow. Take a moment. All right, last round, either bridge or none at all, or you want to take the last one, fingertips towards the shoulders. And when you're ready, on the inhale, press evenly through the hands and feet up. Keep breathing, come out whenever you need to. Lower. Breathe deeply. And reach for your strap. And go ahead and lasso one foot. This is my right. And I'm going to extend that left leg out and pull down, really drawing this hip down into the earth. Maybe cactus your other arm. And curl up. Keep breathing. And then lower once more. And then lower that foot. Release. Switch sides. This is my left foot now. Pressing out through the ball of my left foot, and at the same time using my hand, whatever hand, to draw this left hip back down into the earth, just to work out any lower back tensions that may be lingering. curl up into your shin. And then exhale, lower your head, shoulders back down. And then release. And let that foot meet the other one. Draw the knees in, grab the outside edges of your feet, draw them down towards the outsides of your torso. Happy baby. Roll around if you'd like. Breathe deeply into your belly, feeling your back relax. And curl up into a little ball. Squeeze everything tight, tight, tight. Hold your breath. You can't hold it any longer. Release, let it all go. Coming into Shavasana now. Go ahead and set yourself up in a comfortable place. Maybe you want something under the knees. Maybe you just want your knees knocked in. Maybe you prefer to sit up. But I'm going to sit up and guide you through. So please stay where you are. We have done a lot of heart opening and a lot of focusing on the energy that resides there and experimenting with how we can bring that loving energy in by just intention. Now, as you lay there, take a moment and feel your body and where it's touching the floor. Tense your legs together as tightly, including your feet and your toes. Tense up and then release. Feel your right and left arm and your hands and your fingers. Tense them and then release. Feel your stomach and your chest and your back. Tense and release. Feel your pelvis and your butt. Tense, squeeze, and release. Now, slowly roll your head from one side to the other. Super slow. Until it slowly stops at a nice center spot. Feeling so relaxed now. Take a breath in. Drawing the breath through your heart and imagine that flame once more. A flame that'll never go out. Bring to mind the things that you're grateful for, or the things that you love that inspire that warm energy in your heart space. Imagine it to be golden and radiant, bright and warm. Invite that lovely feeling and that warm energy now to spread over your entire being. Feeling completely consumed and relaxed by love's healing power. Coming back now, hearing the sounds around you. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, roll to one side or the other. And use your hands to push yourself back to a seated position. I hope that was an interesting class, and I would love to hear anyone's feedback on it. If not, I really hope that you found warm, loving feelings, and if that's not what you found or some negative things have come up for you, try drinking some warm water, sit in a calm place, and hopefully they will pass and it will be of something that you have purged and we can move forward. So, love to hear from you. Namaste.